You see the little shit going. That's a video.
But Tyson Fury is the number one heavyweight. So to answer your question, I totally disagree with what the Ring Magazine did. Even though I have deep respect for their publication, they made a big mistake, in my opinion, when they vacated the Ring Magazine heavyweight title. So that's why Usyk is ahead of Fury, because Fury said he was retired. Everybody knew it was bullshit. I understand that their editors asked Tyson Fury about it. He said, fine, I'm giving up the title. But if they just kept their mouth shut and didn't bother to ask him, he'd have fought a couple of weeks later like he ended up doing. And because he retired, which was bullshit, the title was vacated. And when Anthony Joshua and Usyk had their rematch in August, they made that fight for the vacant title. But Tyson Fury was never truly retired, and everybody knows that. And he did come back in a timely fashion, and he did beat the shit out of Derek Chisora. And so he no longer has the ring title. So that's why he's below Usyk.
Those are the words of Dan Raphael as he displays his dislike with the rankings of the Ring Magazine, because Oleksandr Usyk now is ahead of Tyson Fury due to the fact that Oleksandr Usyk beating Anthony Joshua to get the Ring Magazine belt. Okay. And Dan Raphael's discussed this. He's like, hey, well, you should have just kept your mouth shut instead of asking Tyson Fury if he was retired or not. Then he would have fought anyway. So he would have still had the belt. So therefore, he would have still been over Oleksandr Usyk as the best heavyweight. Let me counterpunch. That's kind of fanatical, because Dan Raphael is saying if they would have kept their mouth shut, they wouldn't have asked a question that Tyson Fury decided to answer. Tyson Fury wasn't truly retired. Listen, Tyson Fury has said after he came back, he was 100% truly retired. Okay, so if Dan Raphael is saying that Tyson Fury wasn't fully or officially retired, that means he's calling him a liar, isn't he? Counterpunch. So I think Dan Raphael's problem is not with the Ring Magazine, it's about with Tyson, because Tyson decided to tell someone something that put himself behind in a ranking. That really doesn't matter, and I'm going to explain it in a minute. But put himself out of a ranking and have another fighter over him, and you're mad because that fighter that you faithfully follow is behind a fighter that you really don't faithfully follow. That's it. You know, point blank and period. So you're mad because of what Tyson Fury decided to do, but you claim he really didn't do. Yes, he did. He retired. He said that he was retired. We didn't really believe that he would stay retired. Okay. But nonetheless, he did exactly what we thought he was going to do, but that doesn't mean he didn't do the official protocol things to do when you are retired. He gave up that Ring Magazine belt, but what he didn't give up was the WBC. And you notice Dan Raphael didn't say nothing about it, so he's actually bickering. He's complaining at this stage because, you know, he's worried about what ranking system, what Ring Magazine did over Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury put himself in the position by giving up the belt, by stating that he was retired. Therefore, Oleksandr Usyk again and Tyson Fury fought for that bout in the rematch, and Oleksandr Usyk won the decision. That's why Oleksandr Usyk is the #1 champion at Ring Magazine. That's not hard to understand. That's not something that you really should even have a conversation about, or shouldn't even get your your BP up about, right? So I don't get it. It just, again, it sounds fanatical to me. And let me explain to you why it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if Tyson Fury is over Oleksandr Usyk or vice versa at this situation, because if they're going to fight, we're going to see who's better anyway. And whoever wins is going to take that belt with them. And I think that should be the silver lining for Dan Raphael to really understand, instead of harp on something that Tyson Fury decided to do with his own decision. You know what I mean? That's what he decided to do. Tyson Fury does whatever he wants to do, and he shows you through and through. That's why he's able to say one thing on Monday and then say the opposite thing on a Friday, like we've seen him do. It's over for you, Anthony Joshua. You blew it. Well, hey, Friday, let me give you another time. Let me give you another chance. That's the freedom and that's the power of Tyson Fury. Okay, so this really has nothing to do with Tyson Fury being the best, because ultimately, in closing, people, we won't know who's better until they fight. Then we will know who's better. We will see if Oleksandr Usyk is too small. We'll see if Tyson Fury's too big. We'll see if these guys are not, we'll see who's not. And we'll see who is. Okay? That's what we will see. Okay, so him talking about the Ring magazine is pointless. And I read it, I'm like, wow. And again, it just comes back to, wow, you are very fanatical about the ranking system of someone else's or some other organization's opinion. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Dan Raphael screaming to the top of his lungs, bullshit! Tyson Fury's the #1 fighter in the world! Of course, please subscribe. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you, and you all been Counterpunch. Peace!